I can't get into the vein. I don't know what to say, don't know where to begin. I wish to goodness I had spoken to her at the dance the other evening when she told me they're all going away for the summer. And now I've left everything to the last minute, and now I'm regularly nonplussed. By George, I know what I'll do. I'll write it out a dozen different times and send the one I think looks the best. So here you are, Jack, in love with the dearest girl in the world. Tap her like a man and tell her so. Or they'll be off north, you'll be gone down, lost your chance forever. She's my fate, and I'll be hanged if I shan't be hers. So here goes. My darling. No, too strong to start off, perhaps. Dear Miss Verdun. No, too formal. Not at all what I really feel. My dear, hang it, why not? My dear Kitty. Oh, that's grand. Now I can go ahead like a house on fire. My dear Kitty, I
beg pardon, sir, but would you mind?
Yes, very much so. Go away, I'm busy.
Yes, sir, but
I'm busy with the most important affair, so get out.
Yes, sir.
Just as I got such a good start, too. My dear Kitty, What are you doing, Brass? Confound it all, what do you want?
I merely wish to say, sir, that I have laid out a few things.
All right, thank you. Now, get out, leave me alone.
Which I thought you wouldn't care to.
Take them, keep them, take every blessed rag I've got, only go away. My dear Kitty.
I beg pardon,
I
sir.
wasn't pressing you, go away. My dear Kitty.
I said.
If you don't clear out, Brass, I'll... Oh, it's just you, Charlie. What is it, old chap?
Nothing, Jack. I don't want to bother you if you're busy.
No, it's all right. You can stay. It's just that fool Brassett.
What you doing now?
Like bagging on my clothes and wearing me down like old Harry while I'm trying to write the most important letter. Don't mind me today. I'm nervous and nagging and nonplussed.
And so am I, Jack.
Why's that?
Well, I'm trying to write a letter too.
A letter to whom?
To Miss Pettigrew.
How far have you got?
Well, I begin awfully well. But then I didn't want to seem too distant. I didn't want to seem too
Familiar. Well?
Yes. So I started off with my dear Amy. And then words failed me. I come to you for advice. You always know what to say and do.
Do I?
Oh, you know my idiotic complaint. I'm shy. You're not.
Aren't I?
So prescribe for me, old chap. What should I say?
Good idea. I'll prescribe for him and take the medicine myself. All right, Charlie, you're in love with Amy Pettigrew. You want to see if there's any hope for you at all. And if so...
Well, you see, they're all off to Scotland tomorrow.
Yes, I know. You want to see her at once. When and where, there waits. Do I diagnose the case accurately?
To a T, old chap.
Very well, then. You want to say something to this effect. My dear Kitty.
Whoa, not Kitty, Amy.
Oh, yes, of course, my mistake. My dearest Amy, forgive me, darling, for addressing you this way, but I love you so deeply. Underlined.
Rather strong,
Shut
chap.
up. So earnestly, also underlined.
I said.
That I must write to tell you so.
Well, you see, there's one obstacle to me putting it quite as straight as that.
And what's that?
I have an aunt.
My dear Charlie, most of us have. What about her?
Well, that's the problem. I don't know her. I've never actually seen her.
You won't be too hard on that, Aunt. She's interfered in much of your affairs up till now.
Well, except to find out that I was orphaned and had me sent to Oxford and to Oxford. And then my guardian writes to me and says she'll be here this morning by the early train and will take luncheon with me at 1 o'clock.
Oh, you've never seen her?
No, she went off to Brazil before I was born. She became sort of a secretary for a rich Brazilian chap, Don Pedro de Alvarenga. And then, by the merest accident in the world, see this.
5 monkeys escaped from the local zoo.
No, Jack, no. Next one. Next one.
Madame, or rather, Donna Lucia de Alvarenga, the British millionaire, who has taken Lord Tappleby's magnificent mansion in Belgravia, is an English woman of genial disposition and a financial genius. Indeed, it was in her capacity in this direction that earned her the gratitude of her late husband and led to a romantic deathbed marriage, so I don't see so much in that.
Go on, Jack, read the next.
Her only relation is a nephew at Oxford. Lucky nephew.
That's me.
By George, that's a start. Or you say she'll be here any minute.
Yes, it's a bore. I'd really like to write that letter to Amy.
I don't see so much in that.
Well, you see, it's a difficult letter to write, fearfully complicated.
Why's that?
Well, you see, I have no people or anything.
No people not like that.
Well, I have no reason to expect anything from her, more than she's already done for me, which, of course, I'm really grateful, but I just want to talk to Amy.
Charlie, I've got a good idea.
Oh, you're good, Jack. Write it down and I'll copy that.
No, not for you. For me. Well, for both of us. You see, you've gone on for Amy, and well, I'm in love with Kitty.
Really, Jack?
Madly. More than anything I've ever taken up before. Even cricket. I was writing to tell her so when you came in. There's the letter.
Well, that's great, Jack. And what's your idea?
Hang on, writing. We'll have a luncheon party for your aunt, tea afterwards in the garden. Now come on, first we'll ask the girls.
Ask the girls?
To meet your aunt.
To meet my aunt? What about Mrs. Pettigrew, their aunt? Oh, right, she's out of town on business. I forgot.
All the better. Brassett! I want to write the note at once. Go ahead, you write it. Dear Miss Pettigrew. Brassett! Brassett, where are you? Brassett! Oh, Brassett. Find someone to take a note to Mrs. Pettigrew's.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I've got that, Jack. What's next?
Would you and Miss Verdun
Miss Verdun.
do me the honor
The honor.
to lunch with me and Mr. Chesney?
Mr. Chesney.
I'll address the envelope.
No.
Not that. In his rooms, St. Paul's College, today at 1 o'clock. Miss Pettigrew.
Miss.
No, look out. To meet my aunt. What was her name again?
Donna Lucia de Alvadores.
Donna Lucia. All right, Signa. An answer by Avail will greatly oblige.
Sincerely, Charles. Splendid, Jack, you're a genius.
And we shall have them all to ourselves.
The messenger, sir.
All right, give him this and tell him to look sharp.
Yes, sir.
This sort of thing is not to be settled by
And then
correspondence.
we shall have the girls all to ourselves.
And we would have never done it if it wasn't for your aunt. I'm starting to love the dear old lady already.
Splendid.
Brassett,
Yes, sir.
lunch for 5.
For how many, sir?
For 5.
For 5, sir.
What are you laughing at?
I merely wish to say, sir, that our credit to the kitchen is somewhat exhausted.
Or is it? How are you off for tick, Charlie?
My guardian's
Oh, is he? Never mind that. Go aside and go to Bunter's.
But we owe Butters, sir.
Oh, do we? You don't mind, Charlie? You'll be all right when my next check comes. Here you are, Brassett. See if we can do that.
This is no good, sir. I can't get anything off of this, sir. However, sir, I'm sure it will be all right at Butters if I say it's for me.
All right, lunch for 5 at 1 o'clock.
Rather short notice, sir.
I say, Jack, that's my watch.
Oh, I beg your pardon, my mistake.
What wine, sir?
Champagne.
Very little left, sir.
Half a dozen bottles.
I think not, sir. Only 4.
Oh, quite enough.
6, I'll swear.
No, I have only a 4 of champagne. Oh, and 1 of claret.
Oh, hang the claret. While you and your aunt are looking at the chapel in the cloisters, I'll have my talk with Kitty.
Yes, Jack, that's great, but what about my talk with Amy? She'll be in our way before we.
I haven't thought about that.
Couldn't we have someone meet her?
Yes, someone we can depend on.
But who?
What about Brassett? She can be the widow of a duke for a day.
Yes, Jack, I hear that, but it wouldn't work.
Oh no, we should want her waiting tables.
Oh, of course, so we shall.
I've got it, Babs, Fanny Babs, we'll ask him.
Of course, why didn't we think of him before?
He's a jolly, cheerful old chap. When you use your aunt for the deuce and keep her harassed in good humor.
Splendid.
Brassett,
Yes, sir.
go to Lord Bancourt Babley's rooms, give him my compliments, and tell him to come here at once.
Yes, sir.
Tell him it's very important.
Yes, sir.
Very immediate.
Yes, sir.
And while Babs is doing gooseberry with your aunt, we'll have our chat with the girls.
By the by, Jack, speaking of Bab's cheerfulness, haven't you noticed something awful about him lately? Ever since he was so ill and had to go up to the Mediterranean?
I notice he's been jolly hard up.
Well, I fancy from the few hints he's dropped me that Babs is a bit hard-headed himself.
Babs in love.
I think that Babs is as soft-hearted over a girl as
We are. All the better. We'll see the necessity of keeping that old girl well out of the way.
By George, Jack could be Prime Minister one of these days.
What is it, Brassett?
His lordship's compliments, sir, and he says he can't come. He has a luncheon party, and could you lend him a few bottles of champagne?
Lend him a few bottles of champagne. Oh, the cheek.
What are we to do?
We must go to him. We must make him come. He can't ruin our plans in this selfish way. Brassett, put the champagne nice and tidy up my rooms. Come on, Charlie.
1 o'clock. Put room in for order first. Always the way. Hurry, scurry, no time for anything. They come with a bang, they go with a bang, everything with a bang. Except paying out bills with a bang. But I did think that little perquisite was safe. Upon my word, I did.
Jack, I say Jack, old man. Where the dickens are you? I wanted to borrow some fizz. I wonder where they keep it. It wasn't there. Find the... By George, what a find. Well, serves him right for leaving it out in such an ostentatious way. Why, when I'm so beastly hard up, won't they be jolly waxy?
Hello, Babs. We've just been over to your rooms to find you. We've been talking about you.
Have you really? I say, how do you think I'm looking?
Splendid old chap.
Yes, I thought you'd be pleased. Well, ta-ta.
Well, don't go, Babs. You wanted to speak with us, didn't you?
Yes, I wanted to borrow some fizz.
But sorry, I can't. We want you to stay at lunch today.
Don't play the giddy goat. I've got to meet my tutor.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You're looking quite pulled down lately.
Am I really?
Yes, I was just telling Jack so a few moments ago.
Do you think I shall die?
No, of course not. We want you to stay to lunch today. Charlie's aunt's going to pay him a visit.
Oh, what fun! I know Charlie visits his uncle sometimes when he's hard up, so it's only right that his aunt should return the visit.
Now you're just the sort of thing we need. A jolly, cheerful old chap like you, one with a fund of good humor and lots of rattling good conversation.
Yes, Babs, that's it.
Interested in use a charming lady.
Oh, but who is she?
Why, Charlie's aunt.
What's she like?
Well, it's from, I don't know. I'm meeting her today for the first time.
What if she turns out to be an old crock?
Well, she's a widow and a millionaire. That's enough, isn't it?
Rather, I say, Charlie, put me down for a chance. I'll take a chance. What did you say her name was?
Donna Lucia de Alvadora.
What a name.
Now look here, Babs. It's no use. You must stay to lunch today. You'll find Charlie's aunt a charming old lady.
Charming old lady? I say, haven't you got anything younger coming?
Yes, 2 other ladies.
Nice, young.
Yes.
That's more my line. How many did you say were coming? 2. Oh, I see. 1 for each of you and the old crock for me. No thanks, I'm off.
Now, Babs, it's an awfully serious affair.
I should think so with an old crock like that.
Babs, we want your help as a friend.
Yes, a friend we can trust, eh? Rather. We'll take you into our confidence. No humbug. Strays a die. We're in love.
What? Charlie as well? You silly fools.
No fool flirtation business, but the real downright serious thing.
And if you knew the girls as well as we did, you wouldn't wonder at it.
And they're coming to lunch today.
I say, haven't you proposed?
No, that's just it.
Oh, so you want me to propose for you, I say.
No, we'll do that ourselves. That's why they're coming to lunch today.
Oh, Babs, you don't understand our feelings a bit.
Haven't you noticed how sad I've been lately?
Well, yes.
What is it?
Oh, I don't know, but I think I'm in love as well.
Tell us about it.
Always wanting to be alone and listen to the birds sing. I've become quite fond of poetry, and I can't sleep. I took to drinking for a few days, but it made me ill, so I laid off.
You got all the symptoms. Sit down and tell us about it.
So, do you remember when I took the yacht to the Mediterranean? Well, when I was at Monte Carlo, I met an English officer named Delpech, quite penniless and dying. You know, Jack, he tried to commit suicide.
Bad luck at the tables, eh?
Rather, he buried himself and his only child, the sweetest woman you ever saw, and to amuse him and keep his spirits up, I used to play cards with him.
Whatever happened?
He died. Poor fellow.
What became of her?
A woman traveling home from South America, I believe, took charge of her and brought her to England. You know, Jack, I tried to tell her that,
You loved her.
but she was in such grief that
It all oozed out of your fingertips and the ends of your hair.
And if I had been rejected, I might have looked a silly fool.
Well, at any rate, you can sympathize with us. The messenger's back. They're coming.
By Jove.
So they are.
You'll stop, Babs?
I say, look here.
You'll do as you are. We won't let you go now that we've got you.
Look here, old chap. Don't play the giddy goat. I've something else to do.
Well, what is it?
It's very important.
Well, what?
I'm going to be participating in some amateur theatricals.
What do you play?
An old woman. I've never acted a day in my life before.
That's too great, Charley.
Oh, Babs, you don't sympathize with us a bit.
Don't I, though? I only want to see my own girl.
She'll turn up one of these days. Have a drink?
No, I've knocked it off.
Just a small one.
I'm teetotal.
All right, here you are, Charlie.
You've convinced me.
Here's what we'll do. We'll drink to her health, wherever she is. Here's the future Lady Fancourt Bagley. What was her name again?
I haven't the slightest.
Oh, come on with you. To Miss Delahaye.
A package was delivered to your rooms, my lord.
Thank you, Brasset.
What have you got there?
Just some bits from my theatricals. I'll try them on in the bits after lunch while you're in the garden.
Now, look, that won't do. We just want you to stay with us. Try them on here.
Oh yes, here it is. Here's the name.
Oh, so it is, Mr. Chesney. I wonder if they're in.
You're here and your aunt's not come yet.
What are we to do?
Oh, show them in. We can explain. Let them in, Brasset. How do you do? So kind of you to come.
We were very pleased to be able to come, weren't we, Amy?
Oh, yes. Are we too early, Mr. Wickham?
Yes.
No.
Mr. Chesney, you didn't mention a time.
Oh, no, not at all. We're delighted. She'll be here soon.
So this is where you study and work and do all of your everything?
Yes, we do a lot of that sort of thing here.
You've jolly quarters here.
I'm so glad you were able to come here today. You're off to Scotland tomorrow and we shall wish you so much.
Oh, yes. My aunt takes us to these dreadfully awful places this time of year, and we never see a soul, and it's so dreary.
Why does she?
I don't know.
It's a shame.
Why are you so sorry?
Well, it puts me in Jack. And Jack, of course, you know, perfect fever. That's why we're so anxious to see you here today.
It's lucky my aunt is away in town, for I don't know if we could have come.
Why?
Well, she raises such odd objections, and you know she's so peculiar about Kitty.
Why?
She's an heiress, you know, and she's her guardian.
Kitty, you haven't forgotten the dance we had the other evening. I never shall.
No.
No, those moments in the garden by ourselves, the very happiest of all my life. Out there in the moonlight. Ah, the moonlight. True atmosphere for sentiment.
I wonder how many people have said that.
You know, Kitty, when you want to be an awful plag, but today you're quite cynical.
I know I am. I'm thinking of that woman.
Of what woman?
Of my guardian, Miss Fedke, who hurried us away from all our best friends directly that anyone get to know us.
What a dear, sweet old lady your aunt must be, Mr. Wickham. I'm longing to know her. Where is she?
Jack! Jack! Where's my aunt? What? Why, she's hardly arrived yet.
Oh, no. Kitty, Mr. Wickham's aunt hasn't arrived yet.
Hasn't arrived? Oh, then we'll be off. Do some shopping. Shan't be long. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
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 See, like that, off like a shot when they found out your aunt wasn't here.
Makes an awful difference, doesn't it?
Now, here's what we'll do. You go to the station, bundle that old girl up in a fly.
That old girl, what do you mean?
Why, your aunt. I'll stay here, look after lunch, and keep an eye on Babs. Now, go.
I'm happy since I've seen them already.
Yes, yes, be off.
I say, Jack, have you any hairpins?
Hairpins, great spot them.
Brasset, have you?
Certainly, my lord.
Look out, there's somebody else. By George, there's a lot of hope in what Kitty said. In another moment, I would have told her that... Oh, but it's all right. Everything's been going along splendidly. Come in! Jack! Dad!
My dear boy!
Dear old Dad, where have you come from?
Oh, from town, my lad, to have a chat with you and to bring you your check.
Thanks, Dad, you're a brick.
Ah, yes, and a bit overbaked from all my years in India.
A bit crisp, Dad, but a humbug pictorially.
Am I? And how do you go on about that?
How old are you?
What would you say to
50! 50!
one?
Who'd believe it?
Why, you, Jack, you seem much older than I was when I was your age. I suppose it's the times. Even the old college shows it.
Alma mater's still no beauty, Dad.
Yeah, well, we all grow old.
And as presentably as possible. Why, dear old Dad, even you at 50?
One.
50 all those years ago would have been a stout, white-haired, bald, top-booted, domineering old boy. But here you are instead, a smart, bang-up-to-date chap one can talk to in a chum. Now, Dad, how have you done it?
I have no idea.
Do you drink?
All I want?
Eat well?
Never noticed.
There you are, consequently held a good temper perfect. We're gonna be great pals, Dad.
Haha, yes, well, and there you are, my lad, your check to go on with.
Thanks, Dad. Oh, I don't see half enough of you.
Oh, and I see your hospitality.
I know.
Ha, never mind, same when I was a lad.
I've been done over that wine monstrously.
Were you? Never mind, as was I, done over everything monstrously in college. But settle up. Jack, I'm very satisfied with you. It is something to go down from college with a record such as yours. By Jove, where in the deuce did you get those cigars?
Those, Dad.
That accounts for the bills. All right. Now, Jack, we must begin to think. Yes. Now that I have come into the family title, as you know, I have also, which you don't know, come into the family's debts and difficulties.
Debts?
Yes, which are far greater than I expected, Jack. With the result of all the money I was saving for you in India, goes to pay them. So in short, Jack, you and I, for the next few years, will be, comparatively speaking, poor men.
Poor men? Oh, this settles me with old Spettigue.
However, I do have a small appointment, a small hope for you in Bengal.
Bengal, what a horrible place. What is it, Brasset?
His lordship's hairpins.
Oh, confound his hairpins! That Dad'll be an odd one. I must get rid of Babs somehow. Dad stays. Stays? Why not? Dad, I have an idea. Could this sort of thing be settled over a wealthy marriage?
Now, Jack, that is the sort of thing I'd rather deprecate.
Will you see my chum, that is Charley Wickham's aunt, from Brazil, Donna Lucia de Alvadores, is coming here to lunch today at 1 o'clock. She's a widow.
A widow.
And a millionaire.
And a millionaire.
And a charming lady.
No, Jack, I don't advise you to do something such as this merely for the sake of money.
Not for me, Dad. For you.
Me? Oh, you rascal! No. I shall never marry again.
Well, don't be rash, Dad. Think it over. Where are your things?
At the hotel.
Go back there, change, look as nice as possible. Come back here for lunch at 1 o'clock. And Dad, put a flower in your coat pocket.
All right, Jack. I'll have a look at her.
Did this? Important business, don't expect me for a few days. Lucy de Alvadores, no!
She's not coming.
But she must. Go. Wyatt, telegraph.
There's no time.
The girls won't stay without a chaperone. What are we going to do?
Couldn't we ask old Proctor's wife?
We'll sit and stare like an owl. What on earth are we going to do?
I say, Jack, come and look at me.
Oh, what the deuce is it? Oh, by George, splendid. Charlie, come here quickly. Do you know what a pious fraud is?
Pious fraud.
First cousin to a miracle. Look!
Yes, what is it?
Babs, your aunt!
Babs, my aunt!
Only thing we've got, so we'll have to make the best of her.
I say. How's this?
Splendid.
Who's that?
The girls.
The girls.
Charlie's aunt can't come.
Can't you? I will take this.
No. They won't stop if you do.
Won't stop. What do you mean?
You must be Charlie's aunt.
Me? No!
Show them in, Brasset. Oh, you got back. So glad.
Yes, we've done longer than we intended, but Amy wanted to get some flowers for Charlie's aunt. Has she come?
Yes, has she come?
Oh, yes. She's come. Donna Lucia, Miss Verdun, Miss Spettigue, Donna Lucia de Alvadores, Charlie's aunt. Go on, say something.
How do you do, my dears?
We called on you before, Donna Lucia, but you haven't arrived.
And we've brought you these.
Oh, thank you.
I hope your journey from town hasn't tired you.
Oh, no, it was very jolly. Pleasant, I mean. What the deuce am I to do with this?
Stick in your dress. Press it!
Pardon, sir.
You look worried, Mr. Wickham. Are you ill?
No, I'm anxious.
He's a little affected at meeting his aunt today for the first time. I think he's going to say something.
What the dickens am I to say?
Weather.
Charming weather.
Yes, it is charming.
Delightful. Well, college gents will do anything.
Donna Lucia, would you like me to arrange this for you? After all, we have some nice weather sometimes in poor old England.
What on earth does she mean by that?
You're a foreigner.
A foreigner. What did you say my name was?
Donna Lucia de Albadoris.
What's her name? Irish?
No, English. Married a Portuguese abroad.
A widow.
From Brazil.
And a millionaire.
Charlie, have I any children?
No, you fool!
Well, one or two nil. It's all right, go on ahead. Yes, it is lovely weather. For England.
Yes, it is.
Shall I take them to see the chapels and the cloisters?
No, you leave that to me, Charlie. We'll attend them.
Of course, Oxford is all very new to you, Donna Lucia, but it's a dear place in any weather. Amy and I will show you all about it.
Oh, I shall be delighted.
You're staying until tomorrow, are you not?
Am I staying until tomorrow? No.
Oh, no, she mustn't she, Kitty?
I'm afraid Auntie can't stay after today.
You see, it's my washing day.
Auntie has some business to attend to. In town.
Yes, lawyers and stocks.
Yes, stocks and socks. All very important, you know.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but we've just longed to know you.
Have you, my dear?
Yes, Mr. Wickham has told us so much about you that he has made us quite love you.
Oh, has he, my dear?
Yes, and he's so generous, and he says he owes everything to you and that he can never repay you. And he's such a good, frank, upright man. It was noble of you.
Oh, my dear, it was only my duty to look after the welfare of my poor old brother, sisters, brother-in-law's orphan little girl. Boy.
I'll say twins in a minute.
Yes, but it was so kind of you, being in a foreign land. He could have been left to starve or left in cruel hands, but you, being of a good, kind, affectionate nature.
My dear, you're such a charming young little girl, whom I've said and I can grow quite fond.
Oh, it feels like I've known you years and years already.
I'm jealous, but I'm sorry, it was quite nice.
Mr. Chesney, I heard Mrs. Pettigrew inquiring at the gates of your room, sir.
Oh
Mrs.
dear,
Dear, my aunt's back.
I thought she was in London.
Mr. Chesney, I beg of you to send her away.
Answer this door. Why doesn't somebody answer this door?
What do you want?
I wish to see Mr. Chesney.
Well, don't sit down, madam. I did not ask you to sit down.
We'll leave that for the present, madam. I wish to see Mr. Chesney at once.
Well, he's not here. I'm the only person present.
But the porter told me that two young ladies, my niece and my ward, were here.
And I tell you that I'm the only young lady present.
But he told me he saw them come in.
And did he not tell you he saw them go out?
No,
Well, very well. What more do you want?
they must have gone into the garden.
They have done nothing.
Then they've gone into town.
Why couldn't you have thought of that before? And now, madam, having gotten all the information you are likely to get, I trust you can see yourself out.
Madam, good morning.
Oh, my dears!
It was sweet of you.
You dear thing.
Look at him, Jack. I'll punch his head if he does it again. Look out, here's my father. Donna Lucia! Take care, he's my father.
Am I in any relation to you?
No, you're Charlie's aunt, from Brazil.
Brazil, where's that?
You know, where the nuts come from. Mr. Dunn, my father.
Delighted.
Miss Pettigrew, my father.
Charmed. Now, Jack. Has she come?
Yes, she's come. Charlie, introduce your aunt.
Donna Lucia de Alvadores, Sir Francis Chester, Jack's father.
How do you do, Sir Francis? I'm Charley's aunt from Brazil, where the nuts come from. How do you do? I say, Jack.
Yes.
Is that the lady?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, by George.
But don't go. Now, come on, Charlie's told you all about him.
Oh, Charlie's told you all about it.
No.
No.
My nephew Charles.
My nephew Charles has told me so much about you.
His letters.
In his letters. In his letters. That's all right, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
Then do it yourself.
Well, I'm much obliged to Mr. Wickham.
See? Now, Dad, I've been simply photographing you, Charlie, for years.
Oh, he's an excellent photographer.
Now, remember, you've just come to England and met Charlie today for the first time.
Why didn't you say so before?
Jack,
Yes.
it's impossible.
What?
Look at her!
Oh, good gracious.
Luncheon is ready, sir.
Take your father, be careful when you talk to him. Dad, will you take Donna Lucia?
Allow me, Donna Lucia.
Thank you, Sir Francis. And you'll sit beside me, won't you?
I'd be delighted. You've traveled a great deal, I suppose.
Oh, yes, I came all the way from London only this morning.
You have very pleasant rooms here, Mr. Chesney.
Oh, yes.
Oh yes, I'm sure they're pleasant. Don't you think so, Sir Francis?
Ah, pleasanter today than usual. Ah, yes. Donna Lucia, may I have the pleasure?
One moment.
Jack, where did you get this stuff?
May I have a little water, please?
Open the champagne, Brasset.
I can't find it, sir.
Can't find it. Charlie, you know where it is?
No?
I thought I put it in ice.
What is it you want?
The champagne, Donna Lucia?
Oh, yes, I thought you'd forget something. So I brought some of my own. It's in my bag, Brasset.
Aha!
Mrs. Benton!
So I was right after all, and the old fool of a woman told me they were not here.
Suspended you.
Don't address me, sir. And this is the way you take advantage of my absence?
We can discuss this matter on another occasion.
Oh, an excellent suggestion. Let her call back again.
Then you're a very foolish old woman. I must beg of you not to interfere. Ladies, come.
Ma'am, excuse me, but you must not put on such an affront to Mr. Wickham's friends.
I don't know them.
Mr. Wickham introduced me.
This is Betty, Sir Francis Chester.
Yes, Mr. Chesney here is my son, and the lady here is...
Pray, don't introduce me. I've been sufficiently insulted already.
Well, I consult my own feelings when I say that I am deeply annoyed to find I'm prematurely returning from town, my niece and my ward lunching with these two young gentlemen.
Yes, to meet Mr. Wickham's aunt.
Indeed.
Ma'am, there is no indeed about it. I repeat, to meet Mr. Wickham's aunt.
In my mind, it matters little.
In my mind, it matters everything, so allow me to introduce you. Miss Donna Lucia de Alvadores, Miss... Jack, what's your confounded name? Miss Pettigrew.
Donna Lucia, the celebrated millionaire. I've been indiscreet. How do you do?
How do you do? I'm Charley's aunt from Brazil, where the nuts come from.
I am sorry. Very, very sorry.
I want you to apologize. Ask for lunch.
Well, I thought you were very rude. But if you are apologizing,
If you wish it, and I am forgiven.
certainly, and here. Take this as a peace offering.
My flower.
Well, we're sailing along now. He makes a wonderful little lady. Not a doubt about it. A bit singular to look at, perhaps. But then, look at some of your old ladies now. Nobody'd believe impossible.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, beg pardon, sir. I was only thinking of an old aunt of mine. Uncle, I mean.
Oh, mind your own business and go get tea. Do you see tea?
Tea, sir. Yes, sir.
No, out here.
Out here, sir.
Yes, it's all right. Don't stare like that. I got special permission.
Oh, beg pardon, sir.
And now for Kitty. Where is she? Everything's been going along all right at last. Babs did frighten the life out of me a few times when we walked into lunch as we had had food for a month. But it's all right. Worse is behind us. All the same, I still haven't had my talk with Kitty. But now they're all settled down nicely, I've given her a hint to meet me here where we can talk quietly. There she is. Oh, hang it, I have an appointment with Kitty, so hook it.
So have I.
With Kitty?
No, with Amy.
Looks like we both made appointments in the same place.
Oh, Mr. Chesney, there you are.
Oh yes, I'm here, in fact waiting. I was beginning to fear you wouldn't come. Charlie, why don't you go? Have you no tact?
What about my talk with Amy?
Ah, Mr. Wickham, there you are.
Oh yes, I was coming. I was waiting. I'm here.
Beastly awkward. Charlie, take her to the garden. She can see the roses and primroses and cabbages and things.
But Dad,
Tell her those beautiful lines you wrote to our garden in summer.
tell her I wrote poetry, she'll think I'm a silly fool.
Don't forget Miss Betty, you tea in half an hour. And now, Kitty, we are alone.
Don't you think it was rather selfish of us to send them into the garden like that?
No, it's all right. They'll be happier alone. And it seems as if I cannot get 5 minutes with you alone without some miserable interruption. I was beginning to fear you'd think me quite rude if you'd left me the way I've been.
Oh no, I understand completely. I couldn't expect you to devote yourself entirely to me. Indeed, we've had a very pleasant time, and now...
Yes, and now?
I was thinking, we ought to be going.
Go now! Oh, good gracious, no!
Why not?
Before I've had a word with you, Miss Verdun, Kitty, won't you sit down?
Indeed, Mr. Chesney.
I have something of most importance to tell you. You see, there are times in a person's life when he must think a lot and think long.
I suppose so.
And there are times when a person mustn't stop to think, for if he does, he'll spoil his chance.
Yes.
So, Miss Verdun, Kitty, my dear Kitty,
Oh, I beg pardon. No, don't mind me. I was just hoping to have a word with my boy here.
Oh, then I'll go into the garden and see to the roses and primroses and cabbages and things.
Well, Dad, anything important?
Yes, Jack, it is.
Well, what is it?
You know I would do anything to see you go on in this world and make your mark. And I believe you will, Jack, if you're just given the chance.
You needn't tell me all this, Dad.
Well, having thought it over, I've decided that you will continue on the career path I've originally mapped out for you, as I have seen a way out of my difficulties. I'm determined to take your advice, Jack, and marry a lady of wealth.
Well, Dad, looks like you've fallen the victim of the fascinations of some young and lovely...
Oh, no! She's not lovely. No, she's not overly young either. However, she does have one thing in her favor, Jack. That is money, which is, after all, the real object in this instance.
Well, as long as you're satisfied, go in and win.
Ah, yes, and I must thank you, Jack, for the tip.
Thank me for the tip. I don't seem to remember. Who is she? What's her name?
You'll be so delighted when I tell you.
Yes, well...
Can't you guess?
No, Dad, I can't.
Donna Lucia de Alvarez!
What? The deuce? Dad, this is impossible!
Impossible? You yourself suggested it, and for your sake, my boy, I'm going to do it.
Dad, you can't.
Can't? Why not? Is there something against the lady's reputation?
No. But you mustn't, you can't.
Mustn't, can't. What a boy you are. Was it not you that told me to go back to my hotel, change my things, and put a flower in my coat pocket, which, by George, I think the flower has done the trick.
She gave it away.
She explained all that.
This is horrible. Dad, circumstances have changed since then.
In what way?
You're not the man to be thrown away like this, are you?
See, Jack, say no more. Your consideration for me settles it. Think about it. It will put you forward years. Had she been young and lovely, she wouldn't even have looked at me. But as it is, I flatter myself she's taken quite a fancy to me, so wish me luck, Jack, wish me luck.
Take time, Dad, think it over.
Think it over? Boy, that's not how an old soldier does things, no. I'm going into your room to make myself a rattling good spanking brandy and soda to bring me up to the mark.
Great Scott, what's that young monkey doing?
Jack, I wish you'd speak to Babs. He's carried out disgracefully. He's taken Amy away from me and gone around the garden with her.
It's nothing of what's going on here. Hear that?
Yes, what is it?
My dad getting himself a rattling good spanking brandy and soda.
For what?
Oh, you know, to propose to Babs, that's all.
I knew something awful would come of this. We shall be found out in disgrace. Why didn't you put a stop to it?
Well, don't blame me. It was the fault of your muddle-headed aunt not knowing her own mind and leaving us in the lurch. We can strangle her.
What are we to do?
We must find Babs and put him in the governor's gate.
But find Babs,
We'll
Jack.
go around the garden different ways until we've got him. Now, come on.
Oh, Jack,
Oh, shut up. We mustn't lose our heads now, or we'll ruin everything. Come on.
Now I am ready for anything but why hasn't she come? I didn't tell the boy more particularly when he raised objections, but she said she would meet me here in 10 minutes, and time is up, time's up. Ooh, my dear Donna, it's that old spud again. Are you looking for anybody?
No.
What is she hanging around here for? Are you in want of anything?
No. I was only thinking it was a lovely afternoon. Perhaps you'd like to take a look at the garden? It is looking very beautiful tonight. You ought to give it a good look before you go.
I will. Before I go. Why is she stopping here? Have a cigarette?
No, thank you. I never smoke in the daytime. Why does he remain? She promised me she'd be here in 10 minutes, and time's up. Time's up.
You know, I was just thinking, perhaps you should go and join the girls in the garden. Yes, they might think it a bit rude, both of us being away.
Perhaps so. She's in the garden.
Well, she's obviously not coming, so I think I'll go have another.
Dad, you haven't seen Donna Lucia, have you?
No, I haven't.
That's fortunate. They mustn't wait till I've seen him. Now that I think about it, I think I saw her only a moment ago.
Where is that?
In the garden.
I just suspected you there. Hang it. God.
I know Babs isn't there, but where on earth is he? Have you found him?
No, haven't you?
No, and I've looked all over the place for him.
Ah, there you are, Mr. Wickham. Did you think you lost us?
Yes. I'm afraid I do.
Where have you been with that girl, you fool?
Nowhere.
Stop where you are, I have something to tell you. Charlie, has she seen the chapel? Take her there while I talk to Babs. You must see the chapel. It's an awfully pretty chapel. Now I'm going to have to put you on your guard.
Oh my God.
My dad's going to propose to you.
Oh, is he? That's all right. I'm not going to marry her. Not for you or for anybody else. I'll see you hanged first.
Of course not, you idiot. All you have to do is be calm and refuse him.
Oh yes, be cold and refuse him. Proposals put anybody into a flutter. You know that.
Just remember, you're a real old lady.
How am I to remember I'm a real old lady with my trousers on?
Oh, never mind your trousers. There's the dad. I'm off.
so I popped into the garden and, well, thank you for coming. Won't you sit down, please? By Jove, I've got her alone. Now for the plunge. I'll start with a compliment. How old is she? Never mind, a woman's never too old for her compliments. Here goes. Donna Lucia, you're pardon the rude metaphor of an old campaigner, but meeting you here today for the first time, for me, is like a lonely traveler who has come across an old, bright little floweret by the wayside. You mean me? Yes, Donna Lucia. Off to a good start.
How on earth am I to respond to that? That was very nice and very kind of you.
She could be anything from 50 to 100. Well, I've put myself up to it, so I must get to the point. Donna Lucia, do you know what a man longs for when he is lonely, desolate, wretched?
A drink.
What a woman! It doesn't help one a bit. No, Donna Lucia. No. What a man longs for is to plant in his own heart that bright little floweret.
By the wayside, I remember.
Yes. And I had traveled all the way from India.
Oh, that's quite a long journey. You must be tired. Take a chair.
Yes, I will. Yes, it is quite a long way.
Yes, quite a long walk.
But I found it.
Then why don't you wear it in your pocket?
Yes, if I were to put it in my pocket, would you take it away and give it to another as you did before?
Yes, I was a naughty girl this morning.
Yes, you were. All right, no more wasting words. I must get to the point with a soldier's bluntness. Don't see it, Dolores.
Oh my.
Will you be my wife? Will you be my floweret?
Well, you see, you've taken me so much by surprise that
Then I may hope.
I'm afraid not. I would not hope if I were you.
I beg your pardon. Do I mean to understand?
That I must refuse you.
What? Refuse me?
You see, I'm already another's.
Another?
Yes, I'm in a more peculiar position than I could ever explain. I'm a woman with a history.
Well, then, there's no need to prolong this interview then, is there? You will accept my regrets and apologies and forgive me for ever even broaching the subject.
Oh, certainly. Anytime you're passing.
Refused? What a relief. I am sorry, though, for the boy's sake.
He has a nice position.
You fool, what'd you make a fool of my dad like that for?
I didn't make a fool of the fool, you fool. Did you hear what he called me?
Yes, a floweret.
Yes, by the wayside. Do you know what that means?
Why'd you cut him short, refuse him at once?
I couldn't refuse him until he had proposed, no later could. Why, I shall find myself in divorce courts before I know where I am.
This is madness. I must find Kitty. Why couldn't Charlie's aunt behave like a lady and show up as she promised instead of giving us all this trouble? I hate the sight of her before I've even seen her.
First door to the left. Thank you very much. First door to the left, the man said, Ella. Oh, yes, here it is, Mr. John Chesney. Shall I knock? Oh, yes, do, my dear. Chesney. The name sounds familiar. Why
nephew remain in his rooms and not compel me to follow him about like this.
You telegraphed to say you couldn't come,
Yes, I know, my dear.
and then you changed your mind.
Yes, for about the first time in my life.
Why?
Some vague desire to see him without his knowing. Knock again, dear.
The porter said they might all be in the garden. Oh, I could roam about these old places all day. Isn't it all so beautiful?
Dream away, Ella. I shall sit here and wait until someone comes.
And how lovely it must be by moonlight, where the shadows have no sudden figures, but are only folds in a mantle of sleep. And all this peace, and the silver bells chime to the sentinel angel of the night, who smiles to heaven and whispers back, "All's well, sweet bells, all's well."
You fanciful little woman, what has put all this about angels and so forth into your head today?
Oh, I don't know.
I think I can trace back all the little byways and slyways of thought that generally lead in one direction. What was his name again?
Oh, I've told you so often.
Ah, yes, Lord Fancourt Beverley. Oh, but I don't want your mind fixed on these things, my dear. Why, I've almost forgotten to tell you. I've invested in your poor father's money for you, and thanks to his forethought for his little girl, he has rendered you independent for life. And what is worse, independent of me.
Independent?
Oh, but you won't be, Ella.
Oh, no.
For I've grown to love the little orphan I met so much in a grief in this strange land that I am not independent of her. So let's make a bargain, shall we? Put that dreadful evidence of my dependence aside and be my little girl and call me Auntie. Will you?
Oh, yes. Auntie, yes.
Now, how did your father come to have such a large sum of money anyhow?
Papa won it at cards from Lord Fancourt Beverley.
Ah, my dear, now you've set me thinking.
Have I? What about?
Oh, all about someone who...
Oh, do tell me.
Oh, it was before I went abroad to Brazil. I was very young and he was very shy. He never called me the angel of the watch, but he did get as far as a stammering compliment and a blush. And then he was ordered off with his regiment
Without ever?
without ever.
Oh, what was his name, Auntie?
Frank Chesney. How strange. Oh, I'm afraid we're intruding.
Oh, no, not at all. The college grounds are open to everyone. I am merely at home here, so to speak, because, well, these are my son's rooms.
Mr.
Chesney.
And you, pardon my asking, but are you, or rather were you, Lieutenant Frank Chesney?
I was.
And you don't remember me?
I must acknowledge with regret. No, I don't.
Ah, it must be more than 20 years since.
20 years?
Then you've forgotten the day you first embarked for India.
No.
Then you've forgotten the evening before.
No, not altogether.
Then...
Lucy? Good gracious, yes, I remember the dance perfectly. You were dressed in white, tied up with blue.
Ah, yes, tied with blue, like a chocolate box.
You must see my son. He is a splendid fellow. These are his rooms, or rather he has lent them to a good friend of his, a young fellow named Wickham.
Oh, yes, Wickham.
Yes, he is entertaining a couple of girls, 2 young girls, as well as his aunt.
His aunt?
Yes, from Brazil.
From Brazil?
Yes, a Miss Dona Lucia de Alvadores. I shall introduce you.
Auntie, what does he mean?
Oh, just wait a moment, my dear. Do you mean to tell me that Donna Lucia de Alvadores is here? Actually here?
Well, yes, she was at least 5 minutes ago in the garden. Why, do you know her?
I've heard of her. Shall I stay and see this out or return to town and...
Ma'am, may I trouble you?
Certainly.
Miss Beverly Smith.
Auntie?
Shh. Well, I shall go get Donna Lucia and the boys unless you would like to go to the garden to them.
Certainly. I'm quite curious to meet them. I have with me my niece, Miss Delahaye.
How do you do?
Come along, Ella.
Jack, my boy, if that had been Donna Lucia, things might have been a bit different.
What's his lordship up to with the old lady now? It's as if they were playing a game of some kind. I'm not sure I didn't catch sight of his lordship's trousers.
And now here we are at last, Kitty. No one here and I can speak. Kitty, my dear Kitty.
But Jack, look.
Oh, what are you doing, Brasset?
Leave the cloth for tea, sir.
Go away.
But your orders, sir.
Put it back in half an hour. Did you see I'm engaged?
Oh, really, sir? I must congratulate you.
Oh, confound you. Go away and don't come back. Now, Kitty, my dear Kitty.
Yes, Jack, you've said that before.
You know my father intended me for Parliament and all that.
Yes.
Well, he tells me now that I have to give that all up and earn my own living for a few years.
That will do you no harm, Jack.
That's how I look at it. I've done well up here, I've worked hard, and work tells wherever you are. So, I intend to come out all right one way or another. I've broken the ice at last.
The dear fellow.
I sure hope they do keep away.
I'm sure I wish you every success.
Of course, in time I shall be all right, but the question is, are you willing to wait?
Wait? What for?
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh, you didn't mean it.
No, what I mean is, before I go any further, I want you to understand what I've been telling you.
Yes. What was that?
Well, to be practical and lay everything out fairly, my position in life is going to be something in,
The city?
thanks. My home is going to be,
Suburban?
thanks. Transit,
Bus or rail?
a personal income,
Small?
my extra income,
Precarious?
but under certain conditions, my fears of being ill and my hopes tremendous. Now you know all, that's how I stand.
Oh, that's how you stand.
Oh, Kitty.
Well, I hope those happy conditions will be realized to your heart's content.
But Kitty, they'll never be realized without you.
Without me.
Then Kitty,
Try me, Jack, for I love you dearly.
you do, Kitty, you do.
As much as you love me.
Oh, Kitty.
My dear Kitty.
My dear Kitty, you're a brick.
But what about my guardian, Miss Pettigrew?
I'll see to her at once.
No, that won't do.
Won't do.
I need her consent in writing,
In writing, why?
so she can't retract it. I know her better than you, and there's only one person who can get her consent. So be a good boy and go fetch her.
Amy?
No, Charlie's aunt, Donna Lucia.
Donna Lucia, but Kitty.
Don't ask questions, there's good boy. But go and find her while I fetch Amy.
Where are we now? This can't go on.
I've done it, Jack, I've done it.
Done what?
I've let the cat out of the bag and I've told her everything.
You fool, what for? Told her what?
That I love her?
Oh, is that all?
Yes, but she's gone off to find Donna Lucia to get her aunt's consent. She'll be in a dickens of a mess now.
Keep cool, man, keep cool. We're all right up to now, all right up to now.
Ah, you should drag us into an awful disgrace. Jack, I can live this lie no longer.
Don't start that, some lies have got to be lived.
For what?
To save confessing them, you idiot.
Jack, I wish you'd bring it all to an end.
So do I. I want the drink.
We'd be all right if the donkey would start behaving like a lady.
I know, Jack, but he can't. He doesn't know how.
As it is, the selfish idiot's running around and ruining everything.
I wish we asked Freddie Peel now.
At any rate, Freddie Peel would have stood by us like a man.
We were fools to trust
Said
him.
that selfish little beast.
You think about all the misery he's close to.
Why did he stand?
Look at him now.
Ah, there you are, Mr. Chesney. Have you seen Donna Lucia?
In the garden.
done with this game. Let Charley have a go.
How the deuce does this thing work?
Over the head.
Just when you want old Spetty, her best humor, you go and play this fool of a game.
What fool of a game.
You know, Babs, if it was your girl, we would do anything for you.
And all you think about is running around with our girls.
Charley, is the... Help fix my dress.
Look out, here's the girls.
Oh, Donna Lucia, there you are.
We're in a difficulty.
A difficulty?
Yes. We want you to be an angel and... Now, Jack, do go away.
Yes, Charley, do go away.
Yes, go away. They want me to be an angel.
Now, you know Amy's aunt, Miss Spetty, is my guardian, and under my father's will, gets nearly all my money if I marry without her consent.
And you know Jack and Kitty are in love with each other.
And Amy and Charlie are in love with each other too. But you don't object, do you?
Oh, no, certainly not, my dears.
You won't
You
either.
dear thing.
Now, you know where we left off, don't you?
You are all in love and want to get married.
Well, yes.
We want my aunt's consent.
And yours. And we want you to be an angel and do it.
Be an angel and do it. Do what?
Why, get Miss Pettigrew's consent.
For both of us.
For both of you?
Yes, first, you see, you'll give your consent to Charlie and Amy, won't you?
Oh, certainly. Nothing could make me happier.
You are so kind, but I knew it from the fuss.
Do you want me to be one of your bridesmaids? No, some other time then.
Yes, well, we want you to get her consent. But mine being a legal affair, you understand, don't you?
Oh, yes, with your father's bill and all.
Yes, you must get her consent in writing.
Right?
And you must get it.
Get it.
Yes, you must make her write a letter or something.
But, oh, my dears, I have no influence over her.
Oh, but you were so kind and so clever.
At any rate, you must try.
Donna Lucia, do say you'll try.
We are going away.
My dears, don't leave me!
Yes, we're going to Scotland.
Oh, Scotland? Beautiful country, where the whiskey comes from.
And you are our only hope.
Donna Lucia, have you ever been in love?
Oh, yes, dozens of times. I mean, once in love, always in love, you know.
Then you know what it means to us, don't you?
I should rather think I did.
And you'll get her consent for us, won't you?
I'll do my best.
Then we'll go and find Miss Betty and bring her to you at once.
Here's a position. Brasses, give me a brandy and soda.
Never mind his attitude.
Ah, there you are, dear Donna Lucia. I have been looking for you all afternoon. I have so much to say to you.
Mrs. Pettigrew, would you introduce me to...
How annoying. Why couldn't she have kept away? Certainly. Mrs. Buttercup Smith, Donna Lucia de Alvadores.
How do you do? I'm Charley's uncle from Brazil, where the nuts come from.
How do you do? Do you know, I'm most interested in meeting you.
Are you really?
Yes. Why, I knew your late husband. Intimately.
What's the matter, Babs?
She knew my late husband. Intimate.
How's everything going on? It's all right, isn't it?
No, she knew my late husband.
The deuce? Look out, here's tea.
What's of it?
Perhaps he must entertain. Donna Lucia, will you pour the tea?
Oh, certainly.
What a cruel interruption. We were getting on so nicely.
Do we all take tea?
You haven't been in England very long, have you?
Change the subject. Change the subject. No. Do you take sugar and cream?
Do you take sugar and cream?
No! Ask her if she takes sugar and cream.
Ask her, does she take sugar and cream?
I think I should like a little sugar and cream, Donna Lucia. I must keep her in the humor. I must see her alone. I have it. They'll come to dinner. After dinner, that is the time for my purpose. Pardon me, but I have a little proposition to make.
Oh, here.
And I can't take no. Mrs. Bentley's carriage. Capital, the very thing. Now, I want all of you to come and stay at my home for dinner.
Oh, Aunt, how nice of you.
Grand
That would be
idea.
delightful.
You will return with me now in the carriage, Donna Lucia.
Oh, no, I'm afraid it's impossible.
I will take no denial. I want you, all of you, to come.
I have with me my niece, Miss Delahaye.
Miss Delahaye?
Bring her, delighted.
No, I can't. My things!
That voice.
Oh, it is. Oh. No. Well, dinner's pretty well over now, and we'll all be in here soon. Penfield spent you getting me to come here and butler for her tonight. I suppose she's too mean to get a butler over. Well, all I can say is it's simply marvelous the way his lordship's kept it up. Plays the perfect lady. Something wonderful. Oh, what's up now? Well, if worse comes to worse, I've got his lordship's dress clothes with me.
Brasset, get me a fly quick. I'm going home.
We've been going along all right up to now. If you'd only paid more attention to old Speggy, why'd you pull from the dinner table like that?
It was awfully dangerous and unkind of you, you know.
Instead of acting in a dignified manner, as Charlie's aunt had gone on with some disgraceful old...
Oh, go on, say it. Don't spare me. You can't say I'm drunk anyhow, and if I am, it's for want of it.
Come on, Babs, this game won't do.
Think of the girls and solemn promise you made to help us.
Yes, but she wasn't here then.
She who?
Miss Delahaye.
What of her?
I want to tell her what you boys have been telling your girls all morning. Hey, I'm just as much in love as you are.
Well, here's Jack.
Has there ever been such an idiot?
No, there never has. Look at me. I'm a disgrace to my sex.
Worst comes to worst, we'll take the bull by the horns and be done with it.
Yeah, one problem. Haven't I promised to give old Spetshu's consent in writing, you idiot? You're as helpless as a couple of babies you want your mothers with you.
This way, madame.
They're coming.
Sit down quick.
How about your aunt, Mr. Wickham? We're afraid she might be ill.
Yes, is there anything the matter?
I'm afraid Auntie's upset by the heat of the dining room, that's all.
The heat. I found another cold.
Well, that's what Charlie meant, the cold. You see, Donna Lucy has lived so long in such a warm climate.
Won't you try some of Auntie's smelling salts? They're so good.
Oh, thank you. She's often like this, isn't she, Charlie?
I hope Donna Lucia is all right.
Yes, is she?
Oh yes, Mr. Chesney says she's all right now.
Then go and tell Miss Betty. She's most anxious, and leave Donna Lucia with us.
Yes, we'll take care of her now. I wonder who she really is, Auntie.
Oh, some old thing they bought after receiving my telegram.
Say something to Auntie. I'd like to hear her talk.
I would, my dear, but look at her. If I knew they intended that to be like me, why, I'd never forgive them. Do you know, I remember a very funny story
Oh, that's just what I expected.
that Dom Pedro was very fond of telling.
I need to put a stop to this. I think I shall go step out for some air.
How rude of her to interrupt me.
She couldn't have heard you, Auntie.
Do tell us, Mrs. Beverly Smith.
Yes, anything about Don Pedro would be quite interesting. Do tell us.
Perhaps Donna Lucia would prefer to tell Dom Pedro's story herself.
Tom Pedro.
Yes, you know, Dom Pedro de Alvadores, your late husband.
Oh, yes, I remember his name, but I don't remember his stories. You see, I don't hold on with such frivolity.
Tell the story yourself, Auntie.
Well, Dom Pedro, who was the kindest soul in all the world, once found one of his cellarmen tipsy. Very tipsy.
Tut, tut.
So Dom Pedro, whom the man did not recognize,
Why was Don Pedro tipsy?
The man was tipsy.
you see, Dom Pedro, who was the most abstemious, why, that is what makes the point of the story.
Oh, does it?
So Dom Pedro said to the man, "What would Pedro say if he saw you like this?
And what did the man say?
The man said, and that's when it's so funny.
Is this what we have?
No.
The man said, oh, that's all right. Don Pedro's often like this.
Tipsy. Of all the silly stories. And what was the name of the man?
Really, I don't know the man's name.
Oh, that's a pity.
Oh, but don't you remember the story? It was a favorite one of Don Pedro's.
Oh, perfectly. I shrieked when I heard it first. You know, that reminds me of a very funny story I used to tell.
Come along, my dear children. Come along.
Here they are. Now don't forget the letter. Let's get them all into the garden and leave her alone with Miss Pettigrew.
Bring the cigars, Brassett, unless Mrs. Beverly Smith, Donna Lucia, do you object?
To smoking? No, I like it. It kills the insects and things.
I must make an opportunity to speak with her alone. It is a sweet evening. Perhaps some of you may care to enjoy a cigar in the garden.
No, thank you.
It is a sweet evening.
Now, Dad, I'm glad I told you about Kitty. She's a splendid girl, isn't she?
Yes, Jack, I like her very much, I must say.
You've taken a load off my mind. I thought I was quite without means.
Well, no, not altogether. Now, have you thought this well over?
Night and day, ever since the moment I met her.
Well, it's a serious step, my boy. A serious step.
Now don't forget, in writing. I won't forget. Let's get them into the garden. You take Charley.
But why won't you listen to reason?
Of course I'll listen to reason, but where's the letter?
Oh, I remember I've not written it yet.
Not yet.
You must find an opportunity to talk it over, alone.
That will be nice.
Charlie, why are you so depressing? We ought to be very happy today.
Great news like this sometimes brings this sort of reaction. I shall be better tomorrow.
I'll come into the garden.
I've told the Dad to link out that he's delighted. But Kitty, you won't regret turning your back on society and the row
And the
and...
stifling hollowness of my own Monday and everyone else's rest of the week when there's something more real to think about? Jack, the vista's far too heavenly. Come, into the garden.
Shall we join them?
Yes. Lucia, they've gone. Lucia! Ah, there you are, Lucia. Playing games again, I see. Come, sit, I must speak with you. Now, I am a prideful woman, but I feel that we have become fast friends. It is hard to admit, but I am in need of a loan.
How opportune. Well, I'm not in the habit of giving away money, and so let us strike a deal. I will loan you the funds, and in return, you will write a letter with full consent and sign, allowing Kitty and Amy to be married. And I will hold on to the letter as collateral.
That decides me, Lucia. I go to my room. A brief note.
With full consent and signed.
Then you'll agree to the sum.
I'll say anything you like, and don't be too long in the study. That's quite all right. Why, what devils we women are! Too bad for those fellows, really. Why, at this rate, I shall be an old woman for the rest of my life. I haven't had a drink or a smoke all day in these streets. Oh, by George, he is a find. I wonder how long she'll be on the side. Hanged if we don't chance it. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
She's smoking.
Auntie, did you find the air chilly?
Yes, my dear, I thought I'd get a wrapper sometime.
I'll go upstairs and get you something. I know where your things are.
Thank you, dear.
Are you alone?
Oh, yes, all alone, so sad.
Dear me, what a dreadful smell of smoke!
Yes, I noticed that myself. I shall go find out who it is.
No, don't go! Why, I wanted to talk to you
Oh, that would be nice.
about your late husband. You know, when I met Don Pedro, he told me he had no one.
Oh, the wicked storyteller. But he was a cruel husband.
What, the Don Pedro I knew was noble, kind and gentle.
That was his father, the old gentleman with the white moustache.
I never knew such an effrontery. Donna Lucia, you know, being a Brazilian woman and all, I'm surprised you don't indulge in the habit of smoking. So many Brazilian women do, you know.
Well, to tell you the truth, that's exactly what I was doing when you came in.
Well, then pray don't let me interrupt you.
Can I offer you one?
No, thank you.
Will you have a drink of any kind?
No, thank you. Donna Lucia, pardon my asking, but have you any children?
Oh, only a few. None to speak of.
Here's your bath, Auntie. Thank you, my dear. I think I shall go into the garden. I fancy Sir Francis has something he would like to say to me. But it's rather chilly. Perhaps you'd better stay in. Oh, don't go, please.
I was just going into the garden.
It has turned quite chilly. Auntie sent me in from the garden because of that.
Can I get you a wrap of any kind?
Oh, no, thank you. Auntie thinks I'm better here. I was ill, you know.
Oh, no, I didn't know.
Oh, I'm all right now, of course, if I take care.
Oh, yes, you must take great care.
Auntie, I fancy, is more particular than usual this evening. For you know, years ago, she and Sir Francis were sweethearts.
So were they?
But he went away without telling her that he was ever and ever so fond of her. Auntie says he was shy. But he went away without knowing that she was ever and ever so fond of him. But the noblest man I knew was shy and oh so kind. He got to know how Papa had become so ill, and so poor too, and lost a large sum of money to run up cards. Auntie thinks on purpose. But I often wondered why they played cards, and Papa so ill too. But when I asked the doctor if it was doing any harm, he said, not the game that was being played. But I have all the money back now, and if we ever meet, I mean to give it back.
Oh, no, you must never think of doing such a thing. It would be like accusing him of some sort of cheating.
Oh, but it's so much. Enough, Auntie says, to make me independent for life.
And you think he would take it back if he knew that?
Oh, but I should feel it my duty.
It's too late now, my dear.
Oh, but he went away before I could tell him how much I loved him. For his kindness to my poor father. Oh, you don't mind me telling all this to you, do you? I don't know why, but I like to talk to you. I like you, and I do so long to see him again.
Lucia!
Have you got the letter?
Yes, here is the letter. But first, make my happiness complete. Will you say that our deal is engaged?
It is engaged.
By George, what a fool I have been.
Why? Are you sorry?
Well, no, but that rascal of a boy of mine had some sort of a stupid suggestion that I should.
That you should offer your hand to Donna Lucia de Alvadores from Brazil, where the nuts come from.
Yes. What a fool I was, and might have been, should have been.
Oh, but think of her millions.
Lucy, when I saw your face.
You didn't recognize it?
Yes, but when I did. But I told you all of that in the garden just now. You would be content, living in a cottage for a while with an old sweetheart.
And you would take me, a penniless widow.
Nothing would make me happier.
Auntie, did you find the air chilly? I didn't notice, my love. Auntie, how pretty you look tonight. Has Sir Francis?
Come along, my dear children. Come along. Kitty, sit here. Amy, there. I have something to tell you. Something you all will be very pleased to hear. But first, where is Donna Lucia? Donna Lucia's gone to her room, I fancy. Ah, perhaps it is just as well. Now, before she returns, I have a little secret to tell you.
Secret?
Pardon me for a few moments while I ask for your full attention.
Praises, Jack, what does she mean?
How do I know till she said it?
Situated as I am, a mateless aunt, a penniless widow, surrounded by grave responsibility, my niece and my ward, a good fairy has, I may say, tripped in among us, bringing with her unexpected light and joy.
What does she mean?
Shut up.
Under her influence, I've consented to the engagement of my niece with a man whose honor and probity I have fullest confidence in, Mr. Charles Wickham.
Oh, Charlie, your aunt's so nice.
Furthermore, charmed by irresistible forces, I have also consented to the union of my ward with John, only son of Sir Francis Chesney.
Miss Pettigrew, I can listen to this gassing frog of no more.
Mr. Wickham, what do you mean?
I say I don't care what the results may be. I can listen to this gassing...
I presume, sir, in espousing my niece.
I won't. I can't espouse under these false and lying pretenses. I say that woman...
Do you allude in such a manner?
I say that woman...
I must beg of you to speak with more respect of your aunt.
She is not my aunt.
Not your aunt. What do you mean?
I love Amy far too
Never
much.
mind that, sir. Explain your words.
Mrs. Pettigrew, allow me to say the blame is mine and let me explain.
I am addressing this person. Explain yourself. I must tell his lordship of this.
This morning, at the last moment, my aunt, on whose accord we invited Miss Verdun and Miss Pettigrew, telegraphed to say that she couldn't make it. The girls arrived
And I prevailed upon another person to, well,
Impersonate her. I have been treacherously and infamously deceived.
That was not our intention.
Don't lie to me, sir.
remember you weren't expected.
How with the frog and the wig?
Don't blame her for that.
Come in.
Turn that woman out of my house.
I said.
Turn that woman out. Excuse me, sir. Off.
I'm Charlie's aunt from Brazil, where the nuts come from.
Vancourt's Beverly.
Lord Fancourt's Babel. I beg your pardon.
And Auntie, I told him everything.
Excuse me, sir, but what does all of this mean?
It means that we've all done very wrong and are extremely sorry. And that we tender our humblest apologies, my apologies, for if I hadn't offered the temptation, none of this would have occurred.
And if you'd allow us to add our apologies as well.
I say we have no words to express our contrition.
It's infamous. Infamous, but where is the document obtained from me under these fraudulent pretenses?
The letter? I have it right here.
It's mine! I demand it!
Allow me.
I will dispute it! Under her father's will, I will dispute it.
Why, this letter has been addressed and delivered to Donna Lucia de Alvadores.
He, I mean she, I mean he, is not Donna Lucia de Alvadores.
No, but I am.
You? My aunt?
Lucy?
You will pardon me now if I retire. And as for you, sir, I shall inquire from the authorities. Your college in the morning.
Charley, Mr. Wickham, I mean. How dare you? I'll never forgive you. I'll never forgive any of you for treating my dear aunt like that.
Oh, you must be patient with us, my dear. Why, I only took part in the deception when I found another woman established in my place.
So that's how she knew so much about my late husband.
Well, I'm as sorry as anyone, but I'd trust Jack with my life.
Then he must wait until I am his mother.
Mother?
Yes, Donna Lucia, in deceiving me as much as anyone, has, however, done me the honor of recollecting an old affection, and has promised to assume that authority. So look out, Jack.
And as for you, Lord Fancourt, I'm afraid you've assumed one confidence that no one can excuse.
I know, and and I reproached myself beyond expression. But I would not part with the memory of that confidence to save my life. And if Miss Delahaye's allow me, I will atone for it with a lifelong devotion.
Auntie? Now, where is my son?
Here, Mama.
I will have to talk to you very seriously before I give you this. Charlie, I will never forgive you if you deceive that sweet girl again. And as for you, sir...
Oh, no. Never again. You have my word.
You may have the clothes if you'd like to.
I've done with them.
And Miss Delahaye has consented to think me over as a husband. So, in future, I resign to Sir Francis Chesney, all claims to Charley's arms.